Good morning, everyone. Jack here with Space Games on YouTube and Twitch. Today, we start the stream a little bit different. I would like to talk about a very, very important letter of the chairman from Chris Roberts, which was posted, surprisingly to me, posted yesterday. I don't think that was planned. Yeah, we can check quick. Was that planned? I don't think, let's go to the website here. Of course, we can wait until some people join here, but this week in 𝗙𝗶𝘶, where was it? This week in 𝗙𝗶𝘶. Oh, yeah, March 11. I don't know if there was anything about, yeah, there was nothing planned for Thursday saying letter of the chairman, but yeah, Chris Roberts actually wrote a letter to us, the community, the people who, you know, pledged for ships, the backers. And yeah, so I would like to go through this.
Welcome, my friend.
Phoenix, how are you doing, man?
𝗙𝗶𝘁_SK is the first chatter on and has been first 1 times. Welcome 𝗙𝗶𝘁_SK.
Welcome Phoenix_SK. So yeah, they dropped the letter from the chairman yesterday, and did I write it right? The letter of the chairman. I said from the chairman. I have to change my title of the video. That is so funny. I think in the end of the day, it means the same. How are you doing, Phoenix? And I also want to watch. The video about the new character customization tool. 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗶𝘀 developed this new tool, which is amazing, and we're gonna watch it together later. But let's Trigger. Good morning.
Welcome Trigger.
How are you doing, man? So, the letter of the chairman, from the chairman, whatever how you, doesn't matter how you say it, starts with a big statement from Marcus Aurelius. Oh my God, back from the Roman Empire, I guess. What we do now echoes in eternity. Of course, that was in a total different relation, descendants, and we all know that, but big sentence. But yeah, let's start with the letter, and I'm gonna try to read it quickly through, and I want to give my comments, what I'm thinking about the letter. I have some issues with the letter as well, some criticism from my side, but we'll get to that point down the road. I'm doing well. Well, I went out with my wife yesterday, and I think I had 3 whiskey. And yeah, so I can feel it. I can feel it a little bit. Cool looking ships, yeah. Tulip, hey, good morning. How are you doing? So, I think they
Canadian Tulip is the first chatter and has been first 1 times.
So those ships.
Welcome to Canadian Tulip.
Those ships are made by 𝗏𝗏. It's an alien manufacturer in 𝗙𝗶𝘶, and they have only 2 ships. One was released, the 𝗬𝗨 was released, and the 𝗓𝗨 is still in concept, or we don't know. We don't know. I think it's in development. I think the 𝗓𝗨 is going to be released this week during Alien Week. There's a special week in the summertime where.
Welcome Mark 7.
Mark, hello. Where they talk only about alien ships and they have special offers, and I think the 𝗓𝗨 is going to drop with Alien Week this year, but that's just me speculating, of course. But it makes sense because they worked on the 𝗬𝗨. They have all the assets. The design standard was set in stone now for the 𝗏𝗏 manufacturer. So I think the people, especially Dan McCabe, who actually was heavily involved on the ship with the ship team, is working on the 𝗓𝗨. So, but we don't know. How are things? Good, man. Good. No way, says Phoenix. Of course, you know, we are all entitled to our opinion. But wouldn't that be cool to get the rail in our hands this year? That would be very cool. But anyway, let's start with the letter. So with Alpha 3.18, our first release of 23, oh my God, Alpha 3.18 was a nightmare. But anyway, our first release of 23, the team delivered persistent entity streaming, the foundational tech that is necessary for server meshing. As we mentioned in the last letter, PS is the hardest part of the work needed for server meshing and is the one that required the most engineering. So overcoming the challenges with this release last year was mission critical. Oh my God, how bad it was. There's no place for the Rail this year. Ooh, big statement from Phoenix. Why is there no? There's always place for every ship in the pipeline. I have decided my Apollo and Galaxy will come out in November. Keeping calm. The Apollo and the Galaxy. Ooh. I don't know what Phoenix has to say about it. So, anyway. The launch of 3.18 was far more challenging than we anticipated.
Welcome _space.
Not true, not true, not true. It's not true what he's saying here. Alpha 3.18 was far more challenging. I've seen the live videos of Benoit talking with, I forgot the name of this gentleman who is heavily involved in server meshing, and they explain how difficult it will be. So Chris Roberts, don't tell me you did not know. And we discovered some issues with our backend database that only were visible at the scale we see on a live release as opposed to the persistent test universe. Outside of this, we uncovered a lot of little issues that come from a truly persistent universe. While it is amazing to come across a wreck from a player combat a week ago, it is not so fun to try and land at a hangar where the last 3 ships crashed and left debris laying around, blocking your landing pad. We saw that this week a couple times. We slowly worked through these issues and others, but it was a challenging time for the development team and the community. These obstacles not only tested our skills and determination, but also demonstrated our resilience as we overcame them. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hello, Skubek. Darren, good morning. Guys, all right. So, again, my opinion was very clear last year, and I even have this on stream when I watched the first big server meshing Q&A before 3.18 was released, and they promised that it's going to be a problem. But anyway, it's history. You cannot change it. 3.18 was a nightmare. Beyond PS 2023 welcomed the long-awaited implementation of 𝗙𝗶𝗁, which was, I don't know, for how many years planned, encompassing hull stripping, structural component, and repair, accompanied by relevant missions. Traders reaped the benefits of an overhauled, no pun intended, and physicalized cargo system, while players across the board enjoyed many new missions spanning both PvE and PvP scenarios. And here's also a big criticism to me, looking back to how Chris Roberts handled this. He promised 𝗙𝗶𝗁, and the reality is that the Frankfurt studio, on the lead of Thorsten, actually started only 2 years ago doing the 𝗙𝗶𝗁 stuff, all right? So it was planned, it was laid out, but the real development, in-game coding and stuff started just recently. In my opinion, looking to 12 years, 𝗙𝗶𝗁 started just two and a half years ago. Yeah, so the planning and execution over the last couple of years, you know, let's not talk about it. But that's my open criticism to Chris Roberts, how he handled the past. But he made significant changes to the structure of the company, and we will come to that in a second, which will help to actually drive Star Citizen, Squadron 42, and the whole Star Citizen universe forward. I don't know why people are so fixated on 𝗙𝗶𝗁 when they always said there had to be PS first, and only after that could salvage come. No, I'm talking about the technical implementation of the salvage gameplay we use already in-game was only started 2 years ago. Like really the coding, and that was unrelated. I mean, not coding, I mean also the, designing of the 3D environments, animations, all that just started literally 2 years ago with Thorsten and a team in Frankfurt. You know that, Phoenix. I mean, and when you listen to the conversations with Thorsten, when he said when they really started, I don't know. Yes, PS, we all know, was very important for all kinds of gameplay in the game. But was it really that important to bring salvage? I mean, we had mining. You can do mining. We did mining before persistent entity streaming wasn't a problem. You could go out with a mining ship and do mining, right? But there was no salvage. Why they could not release it without PS? I don't understand this. Why would they be not able to? Mining was released before PS. You could go out, have a derelict ship, salvage, sell the material. You don't need PS for that. That's my opinion. So, anyway, so our development journey reached a series of, and for me it doesn't matter really, because I just started 2 years ago.
Welcome 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗶279.
𝗙𝗶𝗹, I'm good, man. You missed the stream yesterday when I played with your new reclaimer. I bought it in game. So anyway, our development journey reached a series of significant milestones last year, all of which took center stage at CitizenCon 2953. Was a great event, guys. The magnitude of this event for everyone at CHE cannot be overstated, especially considering it marked our first in-person CitizenCon in over 4 years. We have been powered by all of your excitement since the very beginning of the journey, and we've missed the energy that comes from spending time together, sharing our mutual excitement about what we are building. The show was an incredible affirmation of all our hard work, both on Star Citizen and Squadron 42 in 2023, and kicked off our best Q4 ever in terms of player logins and engagements. He's not talking about the money. Unique logins and hours played for the year. More than 1.1 million of you set foot in the persistent universe in 2023.
Welcome
What? No,
Destiny.
Starfield. Destiny. So, Destiny to be...
Nerian is today's first. Congrats, Nerian.
Nerian. So, yeah.
Welcome, Nerian.
I actually planned on playing Starfield today, but I will move it to Sunday and start it in 4K on YouTube. And I will have a special about Starfield on Sunday. Today, because yesterday they dropped this letter of the chairman, from the chairman, and that was a surprise. And I wanted to discuss this with you guys, of course. It's a very important milestone. And we are talking here also. Mr. Roberts talks about Star Citizen 1.0. So, yeah, we'll play in 4K on Sunday. We will kick off a new Starfield gameplay on Sunday, hopefully 10 o'clock morning. I will post it today on YouTube. And I also need time to set this up in 4K and prepare the stream and test it a little bit by myself, because it's going to be a new game. I'm going to start a new character. So give me time, guys. But this letter dropped yesterday, and we need to do that. You needed that PS for derelict ships. Nothing like that was needed for mining, because asteroids aren't such complicated assets. Well, let's agree to disagree, Phoenix. But, yeah, it's okay. I don't know if it was promised with a PS back in the day, and that was way before my time. So I don't really want to argue or discuss it or debate about it, because I wasn't here when it was announced, salvage. But, yeah, let's move on. PS is here. We have salvage. The first iterations are here. Mining is in not a good shape, in my opinion. Needs to be fixed. But that's okay. So, anyway, Mr. Roberts does not talk about the sales figures. He's talking about logins and how many people set foot in the persistent universe in 2023. 1.1 million. I don't know if this is new players or overall players who played Star Citizen. I don't know what he's talking about here. So, the other milestone, 𝗙𝗍 agrees with me. My God, you are stubborn. All right. Okay. You are the winner. You are right. Happy? My gosh, man. Okay. The other major milestone, you sound like my wife, by the way. The other major milestone in 2023 was welcoming the team at Turbulent fully into 𝗙𝗍 family. Okay, our partners since the end of 2012, Turbulent, have been responsible for large parts of our online infrastructure and have greatly contributed to our growth and success. This acquisition allows us to streamline our efforts and formally gives us a significant presence in Montreal, Canada, which is a hotbed of video game talent. That is true. As part of this acquisition, we gained two key senior executives, 𝗙𝗶𝗁𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂 French name, the Chief Technical Officer of 𝗘𝗶𝘁, who now becomes the CTO of Cloud Imperium. Wow, and this is awesome. And the head of Core Technology Group, CTG. You already will know Benoit from his presentations on our server meshing plans at the last 2 CitizenCons. And let's make some music here in the background, huh? Last 2 CitizenCons. The second key executive to join our ranks is Marc Boudet, I don't know, who was the CEO of 𝗘𝗶𝘁 and becomes our Senior Vice President Studio Operations. Awesome. In charge of the operations and welfare of the 1,000+ people working on Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Spread between our 5 offices in Austin, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Manchester, England, Frankfurt, Germany, and now Montreal, Canada. Yeah, I married her. So anyway, I wasn't happy when they bought 𝗘𝗶𝘁 because I was afraid Chris Roberts is going to take over 𝗘𝗶𝘁 and will change it into what CIG was before. 𝗘𝗶𝘁 was running very well, led by Benoit and of course the CEO who was named here as well, Mark. And but last year in stream I said several times, I hope that Benoit will get a great job in CIG, because he showed with 𝗘𝗶𝘁 how you actually run a development studio, and hopefully he will take over in Star Citizen, and he does. That makes me happy, and we see already many changes he made to Star Citizen, to the technical side, including the tech preview channel, which was basically him saying we need to bring this back to test the game. All right, especially critical technical changes. So, and Chris Roberts continues. As I look back on 23 with a few months now to reflect and appreciate the hard work of the team around me, I can say that our experience at CitizenCon 2953 and the excitement from our community, both at the show and in the game as they logged into Star Citizen in record numbers last year, left me feeling not only proud but also deeply grateful and reinvigorated for the year ahead. Soldy Mike thinks Star Citizen 1.0 within 2 years. We'll talk about it in a minute, Darren. Because that's what I said also. But anyway, they start 1.0. There are several reasons why they need to start on 1.0 now. But anyway. Okay, and what a year it is shaping up to be. So here we go. On 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗿 that is taking the game from feature complete to content complete. Is that the announcement now that is content complete? I don't know. Ensuring the game has the necessary polish and feels worthy of being the spiritual successor to Wing Commander. Nerion, my friend, we need to play Wing Commander. I don't know if I can actually get the game to run on my computer. Would be nice to do a classic, stream on Wing Commander. That would be awesome. To this end, the team is hard at work, heads down, driving towards the finish line. So I'm pretty sure 𝗙𝗏𝘁𝗿 is going to be announced to be released at CitizenCon. Not to be released at CitizenCon, but they will announce the release date. I am incredibly excited about how the game is shaping up, and we will have more to share with you at this year's CitizenCon. There you go. Which will be held in Manchester, England. Is anyone going to Manchester in England, guys? That game is super old. I don't think it's gonna run on my computer. So, alright. That did not fit at all here, but okay. Alright, whatever. Oh, 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗿𝗃, or whatever the name is, 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗿. I'm sure I say it wrong. Welcome back, man. How you doing? What game you are playing right now? You're not playing Star Citizen, I know that. On the Star Citizen front, the teams are preparing to deliver server meshing and expanding the universe of Star Citizen to multiple star systems. Rust. Oh, man. Come on. The road to release Star Citizen 1.0 in 2018. So, one of the key milestones of human achievement in the lore of Star Citizen is the first jump day, where legendary human astrophysicist and pilot 𝗙𝗵𝗁 discovered and navigated the first jump point on April 10, 2271, and became the first human to visit a planetary system beyond Sol. Woo! Eventually, that system was named 𝗙𝗁 in his honor. His journey was described as the jump that changed the course of humanity and led to the star-faring future we depict in Star Citizen and 𝗙𝗏𝘁𝗿. Hey, Mike. Coffee break finished. Take care. You too, Mark. See you soon. All right. You might wonder why I'm telling you this story. Well, a little ahead of the historic date of April 10, we had our first Jump Day celebration on Star Citizen's Tech Preview channel this weekend. For this test of our progress on server meshing and the replication layer technology, we opened our first functioning jump gates and allowed players to test traveling between our two systems for the first time in our history. Players were able to travel between Sten and Pyro via wormholes, with each system streaming in and out seamlessly. For those of you interested, our versus own 𝗙𝗵𝗁 honor goes to an Avocado member called Mr. Trash. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing, man? Well, that's why you don't pick a shitty name in Star Citizen, because you might be in the history with that shitty name. Who we believe was the first in the community to successfully jump. Who we believe, so that it's not really clear, huh? During the test, it is worth highlighting that we also achieved 350 concurrent players in a single shard, replication layer with 2 connected servers, setting a new record for concurrent players in a single instance in Star Citizen. That is something which makes me very happy. I like to see more people in the game in one system or several systems, you know. Very nice. After many hard years of work towards a goal many thought was impossible, yes, we are on the cusp of delivering one of the final pieces of technology that will enable a connected, shared universe that thousands of people can experience together at the same time. I invited 𝗏𝗏, who oversaw this historic test as our new CDO, to share a few thoughts about this monumental milestone he helped bring to fruition. 𝗏𝗏, man, I love this guy. He is great. Let's also read what he had to say, because I really like what he wrote here. As the new Chief Technology Officer at Cloud Imperium, I'm thrilled to join the CIG family and lead our technology group. We are dedicated to pushing boundaries, and I'm honored to represent and care for this team of pioneers and trailblazers. One of my first initiatives as CTO was establishing the Technology Preview channel. Wow, it's awesome. It's a space where developers can fearlessly test large technology changes with players way before they go live, fostering the spirit of open development with our community. In 2024, our server meshing journey is hitting its stride after years of dedication. We are closing in on the original vision we set out to achieve. This journey started long ago with the introduction of streaming capabilities to 𝗏engine, like client-side object container streaming, followed by server-side object container streaming, and progressing to persistent entity streaming PS. To maintain the entire game world, every step has been building toward our goal to support MMO-level player populations in a high-fidelity game environment of large magnitude. Let's not forget, guys, this was never done before, because that's what I'm always saying, high-fidelity game environment. If you have a huge MMO with a lot of players, it is not a high-fidelity game environment. And that also is, for example, EVE and all these big games with thousands of players. That's not how 𝗏𝗏 is. 𝗏𝗏 is high fidelity. Real 3D models in a crazy resolution, right? So, and that's what 𝗏𝗏 is trying to achieve. A lot of people in a game with high fidelity. We are gearing up to release the replication layer in 3.23, guys. They want to do this first iteration of server meshing in 3.23. Wow. This is a big deal. It's the foundation we build to mesh on. As a player, you should perceive this specifically when dealing with server crashes 30K, as those will no longer cause immediate disconnection, but gracefully recover, allowing you to continue to play. For developers, this milestone marks the true separation between the simulation and the replication, humongous achievement for the game and for 𝗏engine. But hey, we are not hitting pause there. We are charging full steam ahead towards launching our first multi-server mesh in 4.0. For this, multiple servers work together to simulate parts of the universe. That's crazy, guys. As a player, this will enable you to visit Pyro through the jump gate, where the jump tunnels transition seamlessly between game servers. Game shards will also host more players, so you should encounter more friends or foes along the way. This will mark a new beginning for our game architecture. In the coming weeks and months, get ready for more technical preview tests with various mesh configurations, multiple game servers per solar system, and seamless transitions without gates. We are talking about layouts where servers are dedicated to entire planets and moons, others focus solely on landing zones or other key locations, with plenty of higher player count experiments. I'm genuinely proud to be part of this team. While we face challenges ahead, I'm filled with relentless optimism, knowing that amazing success are waiting for us. We face challenges ahead, guys. What a great submission here from 𝗏𝗏. Wow. And I believe he is the one who can do the job. I'm so glad he made him actually a leading person in in CIG, sorry. Because I can feel already since a couple months the changes he's bringing to the team. So I'm glad Chris Roberts realized that bringing those technical skilled people on board is the right thing to do to finally bring this game forward and to get out of the, oh, this game is a scam zone, right? Phoenix, I think all the remaining game mechanics will take more than 2 years to develop. Yeah. After all, mechanic creation is an R&D process which, unlike the creation of new content, can be sped up much. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll see a lot of new star system locations, especially new missions and other content in the next 2 years. Yeah, the refund Reddit doesn't think so. Oh man, I read this yesterday, it was crazy. Frost is to full power. Darren, yes. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 did a great job, but I think it's a little unfair to single out 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 over the 𝗘𝗏𝗏 teams, especially when it's the work of the 𝗘𝗏𝗏 teams that will take the game much further this year than the stuff we got from 𝗏𝗏𝗏. They've all done a ton of great work. I totally agree. What I meant here, Phoenix is 𝗏𝗏𝗏 leading the technical team and server meshing, all that. I think he took the lead. Has nothing to do with 𝗏𝗏𝗏, right? 𝗏𝗏𝗏 didn't do the server meshing. He is from 𝗏𝗏𝗏, absolutely. So, but I think he helped to finally bring this technology to the final stages with the technical teams from the 𝗘𝗏𝗏 side, of course. It frustrates me when people try to say this game is a scam. Yeah. It's almost as if they think the game focuses to spend several thousands on ships to play, but you can easily spend 40 or 50 like you would any game and have hours and hours of fun. That's true. It does not silence the naysayers, Nerion, because I read yesterday on the refund Reddit, and there were some things in the letter which is coming up soon, which fueled again the criticism on the other side of the spectrum, right? The naysayers. So anyway, let's continue with the letter from Chris Roberts. And Phoenix, again, I totally agree with you. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 did a lot of different things for Star Citizen, including, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and that stuff. I was talking more about the technical side and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I'm so happy he's now leading the technical teams. You avoid it. Yeah. I'm just always interested in what these guys have to say. I'm blocked there. I cannot comment on their stuff anymore. I was trying to debate one time in a very constructive way and got immediately silenced because they don't like that. They don't like that. Anyway, as we set our sights onto the year ahead, the team remains focused and committed to ushering the community into uncharted territories with the release of Pyro and Star Citizen Alpha 4.0. I cannot stress how much this is an inflection point, as it will allow many more people to play together, but also to seamlessly travel to different star systems. And he's multiplying star systems. I think there will be more star systems coming soon. They have been saying the same things for years. Yeah, and they promised Star Citizen or 𝗘𝗏𝗏 is going to be bankrupt in so many days. It never happened. So yeah, I know what you're saying. So all of these points towards 2024 being our biggest and best year yet in the Star Citizen universe. But Star Citizen Alpha 4.0 is not our final destination. And with that, I have more exciting news to share. As we revealed at CitizenCon with Squadron 42 achieving the feature complete milestone, we are now able to bring features developed for Squadron 42 to the persistent universe at an accelerated rate. As part of this, towards the end of last year, we decided to reorganize the Star Citizen and Squadron 42 teams to be more integrated to facilitate bringing several years worth of feature work and polish to Star Citizen, and finally set our sail out for Star Citizen's own finish line. While we recognize that there is no definitive finish line in an online MMO, we all know that, and that we will always be adding new features and content for many, many years to come, Star Citizen 1.0 is what we consider the features and content set to represent commercial release. This means that the game is welcoming to new players, stable and polished with enough gameplay and content to engage players continuously. In other words, it is no longer alpha or early access. Much like we planned out Squadron 42's drive to feature complete and the upcoming content complete status, we spent significant time looking at what Star Citizen 1.0 means and what it would take to get there. Wow. All right. So everybody is now steering to 4.0, but also in their heads already 1.0, because I think 4.0 is the last step to 1.0. I think it's going to be the better version for 1.0, but that's debatable, right? We still don't have any information about 4.0 release dates and so on. We need 3.23 first, because that's the preparation to 4.0. To facilitate this, I am pleased to share that our very own 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, we saw him last year talking in length about
Welcome, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
Again, let's start again. 𝗏 will be taking on the new role as Senior Game Director, cool, overseeing both the development of 𝗙𝘶𝗏𝗏 and Squadron 42 alongside me. So he's basically his right hand. With this change, you'll start to see more rapid expansions of features and content coming from Squadron 42 to Star Citizen, starting with Alpha 323, which is shaping up to be one of our biggest releases to date in terms of new features getting into players' hands. When we announced at CitizenCon that we would start bringing across feature work that we had developed and refined in the push to feature complete for Squadron 42, we were not kidding. As game director on Squadron 42, 𝗏 played a crucial role in helping steer Squadron 42 to its current feature complete status. Under his stewardship, Squadron 42 experienced a significant surge of progress, a momentum we fully anticipate will continue to carry us towards content complete, better, and release. Yes, that's my opinion to 𝗙𝗶𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗏. I will not read his statement. But we can read the last sentence here. It might help us understand what he's doing. With every release going forward, the intention is to move ourselves closer to that end goal. So you should expect to see large updates each quarter. Large updates each quarter. With many changes to systems that have not been touched in a long time, like economy, insurance, etc., alongside a whole suite of quality of life improvements to things like inventory, missions, Moby class, coupled with totally brand new features and content. We have set very ambitious goals for ourselves internally, both for the game and technology teams. But Chris and I truly believe that they are achievable. And hopefully you can start to see that progress starting with 323 and beyond. So yeah, so he's taking over the game side, right? The senior game director for Squadron 42 and Pacific Universe, 𝗏𝗏, is taking over the technical side. I mean, I see a great leadership team here right now starting to bring the game to the finish line. Awesome. Shouldn't be the game in beta only when it reaches feature complete status. I don't know. I think he's talking about... Where was that now? While these teams will still be instrumental in shipping Squadron 42, they will now be focused on bringing all the existing features to Star Citizen, as well as working on brand new features like base building and crafting to help round out the 1.0 experience. Where was that with the feature complete? I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, here. As a game director on Squadron 40, that's what Chris Roberts said. I'm sorry. Well, we have to see what he meant. I think he means Squadron 42. As a game director on Squadron 42, Rich played a crucial role in helping steer Squadron 42 to its current feature complete status. Under his stewardship, Squadron 42 experienced a significant surge of progress, a momentum we fully anticipate will continue to carry us towards content complete, beta, and release. He's talking about Squadron 42. Chris Roberts. And then Rich actually talked about everything coming over to the persistent universe Star Citizen. Yeah. All right, let's head to the finish line of the letter. Working in tandem, Rich and I will continue to establish the strategic vision to bring to life the intended Star Citizen gameplay experience. As Rich said, over the past few months, our teams have been busily planning the upcoming major milestones for the persistent universe, culminating in what we refer to as Star Citizen 1.0. So they already laid out milestones to the release of Star Citizen Persistent Universe. As that roadmap comes together and becomes validated, we look forward to sharing with you both its vision and executional plan later this year. So they want to share this plan they already laid out only by the end of this year, I would say, right? And here is now something coming I have to criticize. As part of this development reorganization, we have made a few significant changes. From a personal standpoint, I have moved to Austin, Texas from Los Angeles to be closer in time zone to our main development operations in Manchester, Frankfurt, and Montreal. I'm spending significant time at our largest studio in Manchester with almost 600 staff as I sit with Rich and the teams working towards completion on Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. I don't know why he's mentioning the move to Austin, Texas. My criticism here is that is not a significant change in time zone. I mean, I live in Kentucky in a central time zone as he does. It's not far away from Los Angeles, but it's by far not close to the biggest office when it comes to time zone in Manchester and also Frankfurt. He's way closer to Canada. But anyway, I understand Rich is Rich is leading the teams, the 600 people in Manchester, and yeah, and then we have, of course, a big studio also in Frankfurt, where is Thorsten and the other teams. But anyway, the fact that it's an MMO has nothing to do with feature complete status. We know about what a feature complete game should contain from the end of stretch goals. Guys, slow down your horses. Guys, the feature complete, content complete, beta, and release was mentioned for Squadron 42. The plan for Star Citizen Universe, Star Citizen Persistent Universe, and 1.0 is laid out in the background. It's not even released yet to us, the community. He just said that in the letter. Two different things. They have a plan how to get to the features, to complete the features they need to bring the persistent universe to 1.0. Nothing is laid out yet to us, the backers, the people who pledged, the community. .0 will not have major features, subtle plays like base building, right? Which they mention here is essential for 1.0. Crafting and base building will be not in 4.0. Chris is just lazy and wants to sleep for 2 more hours. So again, guys, my opinion, which is clearly written in the letter, you have to read it a couple of times to grasp it, right? I mean, there's so much information here. They are working on the beta and final release content completion for Squadron 42, but they laid out basically in the background when they want to bring base building, crafting, the final components, and other things, maybe even more star systems for a 1.0 release, maybe in 2 years, who knows, right? Yeah, but again, here's my criticism, guys. And he fueled the refund Reddit again with this. Moving to Austin doesn't help anyone, doesn't help him. This is total bullshit in my opinion, right? He could have stayed in Los Angeles. That's not a big change. But yeah. Anyway, it's... To be honest, guys, I don't want him to be in the offices. I'm happy that he finally realized he needs good guys leading the teams, bringing the game to completion. Because he couldn't handle it. That's the truth. He could not handle it. And because of that, we had all these naysayers and 𝗙𝗏 is a scam, blah, blah, blah. And he finally realized they are right. I need to give it to someone who has an idea how to do it. And I'm just in the background, you know, all good. They laid out all necessary features for 1.0 since 2015, so we know what is needed. The only problem is that this is old stuff. There's not many new baggers know about it. Yeah, but he is basically laying out these things again in a concrete plan with Rich, right? To finally have a timeline, a schedule, goals, how to bring all these ideas he had, the major ideas he had. He had million ideas to bring to fruition so he can actually release the game, right? Seems they are after breaking the back of the work with regards to tech. Hopefully that means we see more content at faster pace. That's what they promised in this letter. All of them. All the new heads, Chris Roberts, they say, we are doing now the right thing. So, but here is a very important part. So he moved to Austin, Texas, blah, blah, blah. I'm spending significant time at our largest studio in Manchester with almost 600 staff. Wow. So as part of this, we made the difficult decision to ask the Los Angeles development team, only the development team, which had increasingly been providing support for the main development teams based in Manchester, to relocate to join other teams. That is a very strange, difficult request, of course, as many people in Los Angeles have family, houses, whatnot. That is very difficult. Primarily in Manchester, but also in Austin and Montreal. Los Angeles, while shrinking, will still be an important office for the company, but one focusing on a business support role with marketing, finance, legal, and HR. That is the right decision. I like that. Keep all these paperwork people in one place and let the development teams be in another, right? As part of this reorganization, we sadly waved goodbye to the Persistent Universe live director 𝗏𝗏, as he moved back to the US from the UK last year for family reasons. And after much soul searching, I determined that we cannot afford to have this role remote from the main team in Manchester for a good portion of the year. So I determined that we cannot afford to have this role remote. So he moved back to Los Angeles, but then Chris Roberts basically decided he could not keep him. Who did that? The Vision 1.0 is a new thing. Who did that? People taking the Vision as a new thing. Who did that? Phoenix? I don't understand. Not on my stream. You're talking about people on Spectrum or Reddit or... So, that is a very controversial sentence here, because to me it looks like he let 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 go. And that fueled, again, of course, the refund Reddit as well, the other side, so to speak. It is a sad moment, as Todd worked diligently for the last 9 years on Star Citizen, making many more important contributions and providing excellent leadership of his teams. I wish him the best of luck and look forward to seeing what he does next. I didn't see your comment, 𝗙𝗶𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗏𝗏. Many of the promised features in 2012 is what made me pledge. Unfortunately, some of those envisioned features have been abandoned and forgotten. Really? I also want to know which ones. Multiple private servers. I mean, yeah, not something we really need. Yeah, so he restructured the leadership team, and I think Todd, I don't know, it was time to move on. You know, I mean, he had a big contribution to Star Citizen and Persistent Universe, but maybe Chris realized it was not good enough, right? It's time to change the leadership there for the Persistent Universe. Who knows? But that's all speculation. We don't know what was talked in the background, and quite frankly, it is done. It is set in stone. We have a new leadership team. They promise us, you know, the finish line, and that's okay. That's what we all wanted. We all wanted a finished game. So, I will miss the sunny skies and beaches of Los Angeles. Come on, man. But Star Citizen 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 take precedence. The journey is no longer and more difficult than I anticipated. Yeah, 11.5 years ago, but the final destination is so much more exciting and fulfilling. I would have never in my dreams expected to have the opportunity to build something on the scale and ambition of Star Citizen, and because of this, feel incredibly blessed by all of your support. I am determined to finish strong. Awesome. In a marathon, they say the last mile is the hardest, yes, but to quote the Roman emperor, wow, Marcus Aurelius, what we do now echoes in eternity. Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to you getting your hands on Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 soon, where you will finally be able to experience many features we have been hard at work on for the past couple of years, which will then lead into Invictus launch week in May. As a lead up to Invictus, we have prepared a series of missions to earn your UAE Civilian Defense Force stripes and potentially earn an incredibly powerful and unprecedented in-game upgrade if you complete all of them. So you are ready to face Xenothreat in a more personal manner. Wow. Co-op Squadron 42 was also a promised feature from 2012, but I guess I can't be considered an abandoned thing yet. It can't be considered an abandoned thing yet. Co-op features, okay. Rome wasn't built in a day would have been a better quote. Darren, yes. So guys, what's going to be that powerful in-game upgrade? Incredibly powerful and unprecedented. What is it? Is it that, what is it, guys? I don't know. What will it be? And what kind of missions they have in mind? Titan suits. Special backpacks. Chris Roberts. So the power of community. The driving force behind our success is our extended team. Each and every one of you. Together we have built a community that not only plays a crucial role in our development, but also embodies our shared passion for the Star Citizen universe. It is you who has propelled us forward. Without your passion, your willingness to test, to be undeterred by bugs and crashes, to be vocal with your thoughts, and stamina for the long and windy road. There would be no 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗋 or 𝗘𝘶. True. You were there for the iconic helmet flip and the opening of the hangar doors for the first time in Alpha 0.8. Together we explore the vast expanse of the persistent universe for the first time in Alpha 2.0, and you were aboard for the inaugural planetary landing in Alpha 3.0. And soon we will be leaving the standard system as we venture into the lawless wastelands of the Pyro system Alpha 4.0, thanks to server meshing. And beyond, this 𝗙𝗶𝘁 1.0 twinkles on the horizon. The future has never been so bright, and I couldn't be happier taking this journey with all of you. There you go. F7C Hornet MK2. Yes, I saw that on Reddit as well. They discussed that. So maybe abandon is too harsh a word. Maybe all that would be a better choice. But you know, guys, let's be honest. When they started in 2012, think about where you have been 2012 and what has changed in all these years for you, private, personal, in your personal life, in your professional life, your family crew maybe. People passed away. Things changed, and so did Star Citizen and Squadron 42. The biggest issue we always had, guys, was, oh, Squadron 42. Now they do Squadron 42, but it was always promised. Not promised, it was actually a plan to have a single-player game leading into a MMO, right? So, anyway, I don't want to get into these discussions, but after so many years, they realized that certain features will work in the game or will not work, or they have to try harder and create tech no one ever did before to make it work. So, you know, I'm excited. I'm positive about many things they mentioned today for the future. If we guys stuck in the past, it's not healthy. It's not working for us, right? Let's move forward, guys. Let's just look forward and go with what they bring for us, because everything they brought so far is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. Especially the spaceships, the vehicles, the buildings. I mean, everything looks so incredible, detailed. High fidelity, as 𝗏𝗏 described it. Death of Spaceman, character creation, other things that Chris had discussed as the vision in the early days, may still come to fruition. Only the future can tell. Yeah. And again, he promised an MMO for years to come with more features added down the road. So I'm totally positive, guys. Totally positive. Cannot wait to play Squadron 42. I'm not a big single-player guy, I think. I was in the past, but I'm looking forward to play it. I'm looking forward to play it. I just hope so much that it's gonna be a success for Cloud Imperium games. Because, let's be honest, guys, if Squadron 42 is a flop, we have a problem. Right? Yeah, actually, I want to look into the death of a spaceman theory from Chris Roberts. I did not do that yet. And I actually want to create a video about that. Yeah, Death of a Spaceman, all the medical gameplay and stuff is coming to the game and was basically part of that strategy, right? Yeah, 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗄𝗏 is more talking about the overall picture of Death of a Spaceman, I guess. It doesn't make sense, guys, to debate this or to fight about that. It's clearly outlined where we might have to look back and see what is written there. And I want to do that in a special video about Death of a Spaceman. But I need time to investigate, to read all of that, and kind of compare what's in the game, what is not yet. But, you know, we have years, many years ahead of us in Star Citizen, so I'm not worried. Yeah. I don't know. Again, I did not read the permanent death thing. I think we need to be careful with that, you know. Not if I just a conversation. Yeah, just, you know, just trying to slow you guys down before you get all too crazy about that. It doesn't make sense because in the end of the day, again, some people in CIG, not some people, Chris Roberts and his leadership team laid out the things to come and they still didn't show it to us. He clearly said that in the letter. They want to show it to us by the end of the year, I guess, at CitizenCon. So, friendly conversations. That is good. I'm happy, guys. I'm happy. I just want to keep this channel positive. We are not at some other streamers who, you know, tend to get into crazy arguments and negative about Star Citizen. I don't want to be that way. So, all right, another milestone we can look at in great detail is actually the character customizer, which shows us actually, in my opinion, the future of Star Citizen in a very detailed way. So can we watch this together, please? Because I watched it quickly yesterday and I want to watch it again. Because that is amazing. The quality and the quality of the character customizer, the graphics is just incredible.
One of the most anticipated aspects of the upcoming Alpha 323 has to be the persistent universe arrival of our new character customizer, enabling better representation and a true sense of ownership over your individual avatar in the verse. And to share with you the various ins and outs of what's ahead, let's throw it now to just a few folks standing in front of the massive team that made all of this possible.
The reality of the old character creator is that the old character creator could walk so that this one could run.
The original mandate was, let's just get the PU customizer working in Squadron with building blocks instead of Flash.
It was very bare bones. We hadn't had a lot of progress on it.
We had no design, we had no designer, or anyone else working on the project except me.
Basically, the task was make it look pretty.
The very first underpinnings of the character creator actually still exist. It's our DNA system.
In the old one, you could only blend between the different faces. Also, you could only blend from one face to another at a time.
The character customizer for Star Citizen is so important because players get ownership over their character. They're not just representing some player character that some artist has created, but they're representing themselves. We want the player to be able to represent themselves in the world and the universe that is Star Citizen.
Yeah, for me, the Phoenix, I have the same opinion. For me, the biggest aspect of this change is I can save my character. I don't want to share it or something. I mean, the share function is great, but yeah, that you save your... Hopefully they do the same with the profile. I mean, I use this cool little tool. I forgot who recommended it to me. Was it 𝗙𝗶𝘁𝗃? I don't know who was that. No, it was someone from Germany. He wasn't in the stream for a long time. The launch configurator is a tool. You can save everything from your game except the character on your hard disk and use it again. It's very cool. But this is groundbreaking because it brings us closer to a finished game. Saving the character. So who is behind that helmet, huh?
So the character customizer that's coming into Star Citizen in 3.23 is broken down into 4 main sections.
The first section of the character creator is the DNA system, and that's where the player actually interacts with the blending and the shape of the actual head itself.
It's still the same DNA system in terms of when we apply it to the characters. The difference is how we interact with that DNA system. So we've introduced face sculpting.
This is the big thing. So you can just grab these nodes on the face of the character that you have and shape it as you see fit.
You know what I like? When a employee of 𝗙𝗶𝗁 is on that video and is excited and is motivated and is, that gives me, so good vibes, right? It's awesome. Like that guy with the long hair. When he talks, he's excited. He is, he's happy. I love that.
What face sculpting allows us to do is, instead of saying, I want a certain proportion of a certain head, it allows us to say, I want to pull this vertex to this position, and then we can work out what proportions of different heads is required to get that vertex into that position.
The system is very, very cool, as behind the scenes, we can't just adjust the face into certain shapes and be happy with it. We have to also change the rig. We also have to change the corrective blend shapes.
But we've also kept the original DNA blending as well, but we've tried to improve the user experience of that as much as possible.
Now you have a full list of heads at your disposal, so you can see all the heads available, and you can tweak, you can take a bit of the nose from that face, you can take the eyes from that face easily. It's quick to use.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the PU is very modern, sleek looking look. We're trying to go for like almost like the Apple Vision Pro look. But yeah, it's very modern compared to your Squadron, and it's a lot more in date, I guess you could say.
Basically trying to reduce the number of mouse clicks it takes to get what you're looking for.
So some of the other things that you can do in the DNA section is the skin tone adjustment, as well as the skin material or the skin texture itself. So what you can do within this is you can actually skin tone adjust this into realistic shades of certain skin tones to better represent yourself.
Your freckles, and we have some blemishes on there.
And these represent actual scans of people that we've done throughout the course of the years, and we've actually scanned a whole bunch more that we will be adding to the pool as time goes on.
But we are always making that pool larger, so the faces are always going to look better and better and have more variations in them. So the next big aspect.
Oh, thank you, Phoenix. You too, man. Have a great weekend. Always good to talk to you, man. So.
Is hair.
So within the hair section, there's a whole bunch of new hairstyles, which is obviously the first and most important thing. One of the interesting things, and the teams I represent worked really, really hard on this to have some hair simulation onto it. So you can see the hair move around as you're even selecting it, and then as you add it onto the character, you can see it move around even more.
But better than that, you now also have a massive library of beards and facial hair and eyebrows as well. So you can mix and match to get exactly what you're after.
Beards!
Instead of what we had before, where you could cycle through hairs, you could cycle through hair colors. You now have a massive library of all the hairs.
Whereas in the previous character customizer, we just had a bunch of preset material variants. For the new character customizer, we want to give the player the power to go in and actually edit those materials.
What's even cooler about this now is, though we had the hair selections before, you could never tint it. You could never come up with your own color set.
We can go in and we can change the natural color of the hair. We can change the dye amount.
But we also have the new gradient system where you can choose to have one dye color for the roots of your hair, another dye color for the tips of your hair, and then you can set where the gradient changes.
Not only do we have like a blonde hair, but then we have a purple highlight that's done at the end or done at the top, and that's all player configurable. So not only do you have a whole bunch of different hairstyles to choose from, but you've got the full color gamut as well.
Racing event.
All of that is brand new functionality that we've added to a character customizer, so we can update the shader params on the hair in real time.
So my favorite aspect of the new facial hairstyles is the
awesome.
variety. We have a large library for being the first version of this, and it's going to grow even more within the coming years.
And as we've begun to include more culturally diverse hairstyles in 3.23, the team is working on more that will be seen in the patches to come.
So the third major aspect of the new character customizer is styling.
The makeup is another completely new feature for the new character customizer.
Oh my god, I love this girl, man.
You'll be able to pick your makeup for eyes,
Dragon, our most active
your
community
cheeks,
member.
and your lips.
We actually used to have makeup baked into the textures where we had already pre-selected eyeliners and
They should confirm if we can use head type 1 with body type 2 and vice versa. Don't know what you mean. Body type and head, what? What the heck?
all these kind of things to represent what that given skin tone was. But we wanted the player to make that choice. We wanted the player to have access to all the different gamuts of colors, all the different specular reactions, all the different highlights that they may want to do for their character.
For each of these, you will have some base versions that you can pick from, but you can also
This girl, man,
go in.
I love this girl. They're being inclusive. Might as well let us have a body typically considered female with a head typically considered male and vice versa. Why? Huh? I don't need that. But, yeah. You want to totally mix and match a female with a male. Because that's possible 900 years in the future, genetically. I don't know.
And tweak these on a deeper level. You can set the opacity, you can set different colors for, you can have one color for the...
You mean, but not in game? Oh, okay, you mean in reality. Yes. No, wait a second. You're talking about game or reality?
Eyeliner, one for the eyeshadow.
Like the hair, we can set certain colors and parameters on the makeup, so that's like how glossy it is and the opacity of the makeup. Unlike the hair, we actually set the shape of the makeup as well, and the way that we do that is we're basically adding new textures to the skin material on the players. And again, we update all of that in real time, and that is also quite similar to the new freckles and sunspots, how they work. That's again another texture that we've added to the player character's skin, and then we can tweak these parameters on it.
Woman has breasts and a vagina, and a man has a penis.
Shader in real time to show more or less freckles or more or less sunspots.
Sorry.
So when it comes to the different styles and what you can achieve in the character customizer, it's been a constant push and pull of making it look really good, really realistic, and letting people just do what they want. And we've been trying to keep it as realistic as possible, but still letting people do exactly what they want with it, because we're leaving so much power in the hands of the players. They can tweak all these different colors and all of their different, on their hair, their facial hair, their eyebrows, as well as these different makeup sections. And it can get pretty zany.
So the makeup itself is actually a fairly complex feature behind the hood. But in the end, I think it actually presents as a pretty fun interaction to changing up the skin tone and, again, representing yourself within the world of Star Citizen.
So the fourth main feature is only additional functionality.
With the hair.
We'll have a review page where you can see your character.
This is when you're actually taking a look at your character as a whole, from the toes all the way to the top of the head.
Another part of the core functionality of this is the randomization. So now we allow players to both randomize the whole thing. So you get a totally new look, so you get a good canvas to start off of.
Now, one of the really fun things about the character creator, and I didn't mention at CitizenCon and definitely should have, is that we do have the save and load functionality
the most
finally
important
within
thing
the character creator.
So you'll be able to export your character onto your PC and find that file, send it to your friend, and they can import that into their game and see that character
on their machine.
Yeah.
So
Darren,
no longer
yeah.
will you have to worry about a reset or anything. You can save your character, you can reload it.
You can not only save your character to persistence and get it to load into a PU, but you can save a bunch of characters that you can then just load in at any time into the character customizer. And you can also send these to other players that they can then load in your custom-made characters as well. And this is the exact same tool that we're using internally at CIG to create NPCs that we're rolling out to all players in 3.23.
And I'd like to take this very rare opportunity to ask you guys and to challenge you guys to make a version of Jared and share it with the community and with us so that we can see how close you've got. And if there's one I really like, maybe I'll do something pretty terrible with it.
What I'm really hoping to see is a hyper-realistic 𝗙𝗵𝘃 that someone could send to me for reasons.
That looks awesome. That would be me in 20 years.
So that's what's
Star
coming in
Citizen.
3.23. But in the future, we'll also be adding tattoos, piercings, stubble, and more eye
Stubble?
settings. So you're going to be able to do even more customization at that point.
So this is a major milestone for Star Citizen because finally the presentation is exactly at a state that we wanted. So many different teams have been involved in this, from lighting to environments to feature teams to tech art to tech animation to animation programming. Everyone has seen this, has been involved in this, and it's gone all the way up through the chain, through to executive approval. So it's finally to a state where Chris has actually been happy with it and that we could release it to the community.
You know what drives me insane is this comments about Chris Roberts. When they say it with this sarcasm in their voice and that smile, he's finally happy. Oh my God, man. This drives me insane. Chris Roberts. The character, their character creator is better, but it's also part of a finished game. Star Citizen's character creator will probably surpass it eventually, except in terms of customizing your body itself, since I doubt we'll get that. But why they always have to mention Chris Roberts and his final approval? Oh my God, it's just, you know, it's like they work just for one guy, not for us. That's my problem with it. It always sounds like they do it for him, not for us. You know, because we give the biggest feedback in thousands of streams, stream hours, Spectrum, you name it. But of course he has the final approval, but why mention it? That he is finally happy with it. Oh.
Really happy. We put a lot of time and effort into getting it to where we want it to be today, so it's come a long way. Particularly happy with like how it's just easy to use, and you can basically go from like scratch and just completely start from a clean slate and just create whatever you want, really.
You're going to be able to express yourself with your characters so much more than before. And you're going to be able to see everyone in the verse really being themselves or whoever they want to be out there. I think that we have made one of the strongest character customizers that's out there at this point, and we are very proud of this.
The blue beard, man.
So, what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the character customizer in Alpha 3.23 is dope as that it's the next major milestone in our continuing efforts to enable better representation and customization of your player avatars in the verse. And that even more options, things like tattoos, scarrings, and even more, are on their way after that. And, of course, if you don't want to spend time creating your avatar, you can just hit the little randomize button down there and see what you get. Random.
Dan McCabe.
Random. 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 Oh.
Hi, I'm David. I have to read the teleprompter. I'm the producer for ISC. I make it possible for Jared to do stupid things like this. And I'm British. That's it. Just British. I say things like peanut butter, water, and rubbish.
Water.
And I'm always explaining to others why Jared did things like this. I'm good at my job. Aw. But my job is being British. Teleprompter. What was that?
You'd like to have fun.
That's awesome.
For Inside Star Citizen, I'm 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗃. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week. All right, so are we recording?
Yeah, we're all in.
All right. So normally at the end of the show here, we would have a meme image. It's funny, haha. David, do we have anything this week?
We're going to have one thing, but we're not allowed to show it yet.
Oh, the one thing we're not allowed to show yet. Well, I mean, who wants to live forever? Hold on. I get out of here. There we go. There's a long bit of. Can you see this? No, this way. What is this? Wow. Yeah. What sounds do the birds make? Clearly, never heard what a bird sounds like before.
Is that better? Is that what you wanted?
All right, guys. That's it for this week. And with this one, I will close my week. What is he on about the lunatic? Well, they kind of announced that the birds are coming to the game. That's how they announced it. That we get animals, living, moving creatures on planets. Guys, what a week. We got the letter of the chairman, from the chairman. We got this character customizer video, which is awesome. So next week there will be for sure a Q&A. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Saving your character, sharing your character. You can spend hours creating new characters and save them. Many of them if you want. Mix and match beards, hair, colors, makeup, awesome. I think I'm going to spend at least an hour with it. You're welcome, Trigger. Yeah, I think it's going to be really an exciting year this year for Star Citizen, and I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm really looking forward to 3.23 and of course 4.0, and hopefully we're gonna see 3.23 in the PDU or at least with the 𝗏𝗏𝗿𝗃 members soon, so we get a little feeling of what's to come. Guys, and with that, I wish you a wonderful rest of the day and a nice weekend. And again, I'm playing on a stream on Sunday morning for Starfield, hopefully 10 o'clock in the morning. I planned that, but I need to spend some time with it and get it prepared. But I will see you also latest Monday morning. All right? Guys, with that, see you soon. And as always, be respectful.